Okay, so it seems we are live now. It's my first time, so no, I'm not nervous, but first experience. Okay, so it seems we are live now. It's my first time. I hope I don't mess this stuff up, man. So once I'm not messing it up, once I'm smiling means that I'm not messing it up. Hope you can hear me. Let me see. Okay, perfect. Okay, so welcome everybody to the RJ Speaks first live edition with our special guest, Oheneba Okyere Emmanuel. And it's an honor to have you here. So if you're watching our very first live, applaud to say it's time to clap for yourself. Yes, that's a great accomplishment. So I mean, everybody knows something about me. I am RJ Speaks, but originally and legally called Ruby. And I'm here to talk with Oheneba for him to share his exam experience with us and some challenges he faced. So if you all don't mind, Oheneba, please, can you introduce yourself to us? Briefly,
Yes,
thank you.
I'm here. So, as Ruby said, I'm Oheneba Okyere. Um, I'm a fourth year actuarial science student in Canada, and quite recently I passed exam P, which was my second exam, but it was on my third attempt. And late last year, I took part I took part like with the IAB exam prep program, which prepared me for FM, and I passed that on my first attempt. So yeah, that's a bit about me, and yeah, that's me.
Oh, we're not going to talk if you are single or married.
So we'll
Oh,
reserve that.
actually, don't talk about that.
We'll reserve that for later.
Okay, sure. I agree. Privacy kept. So, Oheneba, yeah, I would like to first know, how it felt, given that you passed your FM on your first attempt, right?
Yeah.
Um, I'm sure you were expecting the same thing for your exam P experience as well. That, oh, of course, I passed my first attempt, so my second exam will definitely be straightforward. So, how did you feel failing the first time for exam P? How confident were you even to start with? And how did you feel knowing that you failed your first exam? You failed for the first time.
For being confident, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't convinced at all about passing that exam because I felt like because for FM, like I went over like a quite so like, I went over a couple of stuff whereby like I went through sample questions. I dedicated more time to study for FM, but for P, it was during school, like during school. So I felt like I didn't put in like much effort into it. So honestly, like I was going with 99% God and then 1% my brain. But then for some reason I still expect to pass because I felt like I knew the content, but I just hadn't practiced enough. So when
Okay.
I came out and like I saw like that the email they sent to you, I was heartbroken because I didn't want to retake that exam again. Like I felt like it was too much for me because like I wanted to enjoy my summer because like that was going to be my last summer being like a full-time like student. Like because like I'm graduating like in the spring. So it was kind of like devastating, but then again, I decided that I mean, it happened. Like I wasn't fully prepared, but I wasn't fully prepared, but I thought I was going to pass. But then life happens, so I was going to go back and study for it. Yeah,
Oh, but wait. With your ratio given, you said 99% God and 1% yourself. So are you trying to say that ratio is not enough, or somebody has to do 100% God in order to pass?
no, I mean, like in order to pass, like you must do 100% you, then 100% good. But then for me, like I wasn't like I don't think I was prepared like at all. Like I went over like I like the like my end level was even at 3.5. So I wasn't going like I knew for sure that like me passing would be a miracle. But then there's a
Okay.
saying that like, God helps those who help themselves. But then in that case, I didn't help myself, so I knew that like it wasn't going to work out. But I was still going. So I'm at the end. I thought I was going for the experience to know how the questions are, so like I'll use it for the future exams.
Mhm. I can understand. There are times that you are really not prepared for stuff, but you were still hoping like to pass. And I think I've also been in that capacity before where you know that if you pass, it's actually a miracle. But the fact that you not pass also does not sit well with you because your expectations were quite high. So I would say that what happened with your second failing this time around? This time around, would you say you were much prepared, or you had a maybe 40% God, or you had 100% God, 100% yourself? So how was it for your second failure as well?
For the second one, I would say I was quite like prepared for like that exam. I would say I was very prepared because after the first exam, like I saw like the type of questions that like they bring to like the exam. So like I went back to like, and luckily for me, I'm somebody who recalls like exam questions even after the exam. Like I
Okay.
can still recall like the first exam questions like now as I'm talking to you. So I went back and like I wrote the questions down like on my notes like on my phone. Then,
Were you expecting the same questions to come
no,
again?
like I actually like these are
Okay,
like
but that format. Got
yeah,
you.
exactly. Like I just like review. I felt like they brought like some SOA sample questions and all that. But then the what I did for the first one was I didn't go to like any sample questions, which was like very bad because for FM like I went to like this like you recommend that we go to sample questions like a maximum of like minimum of 2 times, and I did that for FM. And I saw similar questions like from the sample questions.
Mm.
But this one I didn't really go through. So I for the second attempt, I went to, but didn't go to like everything. Because then again, like I was working, and yeah, and like I was working like two jobs, and like so like I wasn't like quite like having time to study. So I wasn't so like I went to some sample questions, maybe not everything. Then also for the second attempts, like for the first attempts, there was this particular topic that I didn't understand. And
What
condition
topic is that?
was it was like conditional variance, like the
Okay,
law of
got you.
total expectations and
I don't
conditions.
like it too.
Yeah, like find like variance of y equals expectation of variance of expectation, that kind of thing. Like I didn't get this, but like I saw questions I got like in my first attempt. So going back to my second one, I made sure like I understood like every single thing. So when I came out, I like in the exam hall, like I was able to let's say answer let's say about probably like 20 questions that like I knew for sure like they were correct. So when I came, like I guess on like the rest, like I pray to God and guess on the rest. That's
Oh, so
so
let's establish the fact that even for the second attempt, also you still had to guess some.
yeah, I still have to get some. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought to get like maybe like 10 or maybe less. But then so like when I came out and I saw like the results, I was quite surprised because like I felt like I was much more prepared for it. But then I wasn't surprised because I wasn't like surprised of the results and because like so like when you fail an exam they give you like the statistics. So for the first one that like they give you like this like a like let's just say you had a low, medium
Yeah,
or high.
yeah, on the sections.
Exactly. So for the first one, I had a low, medium, medium, or no, sorry, low, medium, low.
Mm.
So then I knew like I wasn't prepared for the first one, but for the second one, when I saw it, I had like a low, high, high. So I was like, shoot, if I go like a medium, like that section I had a low, I would have probably passed. So that one was quite painful
Okay,
because
and
like,
what was the score on two highs and one low? What was the score when you finally saw it? Was it
five.
like a 4 or 5? A 5. Okay.
So I mean, like I was pretty close to like passing the second one. But then again, I was like, so that one like pay me a lot because I was like, and plus the money that like my like me telling my parents to pay for the exam for me was like a problem because like I'm like, why are they paying for me to fail? So at some points I lost like the confidence in myself, but then again I was like, I'll give it a third try. Yeah.
Okay, so the third try, did you have to pay for it yourself or still your parents paying for you?
No, the third one, my parents actually paid for everything for me, which is like it's and like they supported me like with it like. But like yes, like it helped me like pay for like the exam, which was like great.
Okay, but wait to I mean, but did you ever take a reimbursement on the 5 that you scored? Because you know that you can apply for
Yeah, so
reimbursement.
I actually applied for reimbursements. I'm here to receive the funds.
Okay,
Like,
okay, okay,
like
sure.
if I put the do, I'm here to
Then
receive.
your parents can be happy, or that money goes to yourself.
I mean, it goes to them, but then I'm taking it from them.
Okay, got you. So now, I mean, so now I think that we can establish the fact that two highs and a low still does not get you to a pass, and that you'd have to have at least two highs and one medium.
I think yeah.
Oh, then I think that maybe three mediums will not even get you to a pass if that's the case. I doubt like
Maybe like must have like a high somewhere. maybe high, medium, medium will be
High,
fine.
medium, medium.
Mm,
Hmm. Maybe one day I'll reach out to one SOA
yeah, yeah,
person
yeah.
and ask them how many mediums or highs you need like just to pass. So
Mm.
now finally, how did it feel finally passing? Finally.
So let me start from like the morning before. It's like my exam was at 8:30 a.m. on
Okay.
12 November 2024. Yeah. So I go to like the exam place and then in my head I'm like so like I don't know what happened, but like in my head like I was thinking, what if my calculator stops working in the exam hall? Because like I only had one calculator.
Come on, it's called PTSD.
I was like, what if it stops working? Then like that thought was like was playing in my head. Then like another thought that was playing in my head was that this is going to be the last chance. Like I can't do this again. Like I'll switch to something else, like another field. Like I'll end my degree in actuarial science, but then I'll switch to something else. Like because like at that point I was like, I can't come and do this exam again. Like because then again I would have had to do this like in January and December. Like I'm going to have fun with family. I don't want to be studying for exam whilst everybody's having fun. So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, so I was like, nah, like, and then also like, at the beginning of the year, like, I had planned to like write two exams before the year ends, but I was able to write one. We thank God for that. So going to write the exam, and then so normally like the previous two that I wrote before I went to write the exam, like my heart was beating. So like I called my parents, I'm like, my heart's beating. They go try to calm me
For
down.
for your third attempt.
No, for so no, like for no, it's like this is for like a phase two. Like my heart was
Okay.
beating. Like for FM2, like that's what happened. And they'll call, and so like, and so like I called him and like I should calm down, I should calm down. So for the third one, like I didn't tell them like I was going inside to go and write the exam. Like I just went to go and write the exam. I felt like the questions were not difficult. Like they were standard questions. Like they were standard questions. And then luckily for me, it's not lucky, but then during the exam, the servers like shut down. Like for the so like we couldn't like write the exam for like 10 minutes. So it's like we were just there.
That's for
And
the
then
third attempt.
yeah, for the third one, yeah. So like they're trying to like reboot the system or something like that. After 10 minutes, then the service like came back on. Then we wrote then like I continued writing. I'll say like I was able to like confidently answer like let's say 26 26 like questions like I knew for sure that like they're going to be correct. So like there was like four for me to guess. And then four so like I didn't want to like guess like this is C, 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 because like there's a saying that like if you don't answer just choose C. But I don't want to guess C, C, C.
I'm copying essay on this comment. Students now choose C if they don't, they're doubting.
But I didn't want to choose C, C, C. So what I did was I'm as a Christian, so I pray to God that I've learned so hard for this exam. So you should please like bring the concepts like come on, like when I go over the questions again, like I should see like what the question is trying to like to prove to. So like I saw like the questions. And so based on like I was able to like know like what the question was trying to aim at. So I was able to like get like the questions, the concept, and like I was able to like actually solve the questions. But it's like I wasn't sure about it because like I didn't know whether the concept was correct, but I knew that was coming from a higher source, so I trusted that source. Then I so I think I started the exam I think eight at 8:53 by 10:50 by 11:14 like I was out of the exam hall. So I left
11:14?
yes like it's a 3 hour exam.
Okay, okay, so
So 8:53
um,
yeah
okay,
so by
so
11:14 like I was out of the exam.
21, 2 hours, 21 minutes.
Mm. Like I was also, and because like I was like I've done my best. Whenever will come. Like at that point, it's like yeah, I'm somebody who doesn't like if I don't know the answer to a question, I will leave. Like I don't want to, but like if I
But
stay,
what if the remaining 39 minutes could have brought in the ideas for you to complete? Why not use the all the time? Because you paid for the time as well.
no, and because like something about me is that, like if I don't know this thing, I'll just be sitting there and be thinking about something else. Like I won't think about like the exam that I'm writing. I'm not thinking about like the food I'm going to eat when I leave the exam hall. I'm not thinking about like what like I wouldn't be thinking about like the exam. So I just decided that nah, I'm just going to submit the exam and leave. That just for like tell that thing. So I went out and then I read the procedures to check out, and I went and I took my phone. But then I was kind of like confident that like I had passed this one. So and you know that I don't know how accurate this is, but in apparently like when you fail, it takes long for like the email to come, like longer than usual. But then when you pass, like it's quite
Maybe it's quick.
yeah. And I would say like that happened to for my second attempt, like when I failed, it took some time, maybe like 5 minutes, like after I was done for it to come. But then for the third one that like I passed, I went out, I checked my phone and I saw the email. So like I was like, have I passed? Like I clicked on it and I saw congratulations. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Well, I mean, I was happy. I was extremely happy because I'm like, I can finally like sleep on P. Like I don't think about P again.
But was the score what you expected? At the scores out?
It's supposed
The
to be out in Jerry.
Oh, so like even though it's not out yet, what are you looking at seeing out of 10?
I mean, for me, I don't mind any like it
You
could
don't
be
even
like
mind if it's a six.
see sixes gets like FSA, trust me.
What did you
If
say?
you get six for every exam and get FSA, it doesn't matter. Like I'm not really
As
particular, but
long as you've made it to the top, you're okay.
yeah, but like I think for this one I'll probably like get I'm praying like I get like a 7 or 8. Like
Okay.
yeah,
So
so
what
like,
would you say? Uh-huh.
so
What
like
would you
yeah,
Oh, sorry. It feels like I'm cutting you short. I don't normally do that. Sorry. You can come.
like yeah, like I was very happy like that day. Like I called my parents, they were happy. They were singing praises like I passed. Yeah, it was a fun day.
Okay.
And
So, I mean, of course, was it that one that you got to eat the fufu?
no, the fufu one was FM, so that was last year.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure.
But this like more like some shawarma type something like it was because I was hungry. Yeah, so I bought some
This
shawarma.
year was the first time I ate shawarma.
Oh really?
I didn't even know. I'm
Yeah.
trying to even remember if it's really shawarma I ate. A friend of mine bought me. I don't know if it's suya or shawarma. I don't know if there's a difference between these two.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
anyway, that's off the topic. But I don't know if that's shawarma I ate, then I think that stuff
Yeah.
tastes good. It looks like meat wrapped in
Yeah. Yeah. Bread
some
type thing.
flour stuff. Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, then congratulations to me. I finally ate one. Okay, so having finally succeeded, right? What would you say were the things that you did this time around, like to make you? Oh, let me not even say what you did. What were the mistakes you thought, or you now know that you did for the first two attempts that did not, turn out successful?
I mean, I would say not like adequately like going through like a sample like questions. And because
Okay,
like the SOA knows why they give the sample questions. Like they are called sample questions for a reason. Like at least go over them like at least twice.
I
Like
think you should repeat this part.
yeah, like the SOA knows why they are called sample questions. So like you should at least go over it like twice. Like the questions are a lot. I think so. Let me tell you the story. So I think it was a week before the exam. I randomly went to the SOA like website and found out like they had added more questions to the sample question. And I was like, how would I go through this before like the time? Because like, I was left like a week or two. And like I was because like I didn't used to check like the SOA websites like regularly. But I just see like the question actually like used to like give like updated like it's just to give like more questions that I hadn't seen before. So I somehow like suspected it, but like, I didn't think too much like into it.
Okay.
So after going there and I saw like they had added some more sample questions, like I was like, how like so like what I did was that maybe before the exam, like I focused mainly like on the sample like questions. And then you actually taught me this strategy whereby you start it's like just like you pick a section, then you start from like the lowest like difficulty. So as you get like 100% in like the difficulty, then you keep on like advancing. Then you get
Mhm.
like a level 7, and that's where like you stop or something.
Yeah.
Then you go to the second section. So that's what like, I did for like the third one. But for the second one and the first one, I didn't really focus much on like the sample questions. And
Mhm.
like you whereby like you taught me that I didn't really focus much on that one. And also I realized that for the first two exams, I didn't really like put like much into studying. Like I studied like sorry, like into practice. Like I did like the learn part, but like for the practice, like let's see, I used to do like one exam maybe like every week or something. But for like the last one that like I did, I used to do like one exam like every 2 days. And I focus more on like the custom exam whereby like you focus only on the sample like questions. So
Mhm.
then it was back to sample questions.
I
I
mean,
think
I
so.
agree with that part though, where you have to focus the quizzes, or you have to customize them to focus on the sample. Um, of course, you don't want to learn what's not coming or what's not related to you. So, especially when you are pressed on time, it's very important that you
Yeah,
customize it to the important stuff.
yeah. So then yeah, like it's like it all boils down on sample questions. But for the first two, I didn't really use sample questions. Like I saw them, but I didn't really like solve them like actual solving. Like I just looked at them and I'm like, oh, this question looks okay. This question. And like I used to see some like in the like adapt so I used like coaching actually. So I used to see some like in the adapt part, but like I didn't really solve sample questions. Yeah.
But wait, just curious, what would have happened if you did not pass at all? What would have been the worst? Because I know a number of students. I know like even recently a student that took FM and she failed, and she felt like that means actuarial is not the right path for her, and she's in a different field now, and she's happy where she is. I know people that failed it twice and now they had to switch totally to something typical, very financial, like banking and all others, and they're really doing very well and having, in fact, bigger monies, right?
Mm.
So what would you have done if you had failed the third time? What is it?
For me, I would say I would have because like I used to get like a lot of like motivation from friends and family. Like I had like a great support system. Like even like you were even a support system. Like because like when I told you like I failed, you told me that I should keep on trying. So like I had a great support system. So I think I would have possibly continued in that field. Like I would also continued doing the exam. But then I would have started to look somewhere else. Whereby I would have probably I think right now I think I was like I would have probably looking like the like data like analytics side of
I feel like that's
the
everybody's comfort zone. As long, immediately there are some challenges or something stops working, the next place for actuarial people to look at is data science, and I don't know why.
yeah, I think like I would have looked like in that area because like I've done like a lot of like data analytics in school and so like I would have possibly like looked in that area. Or even like I would have possibly like gone ahead to do like maybe a master's or a PhD in math. And
You're
because
right, material science.
pure math because I hear that like I'm a good teacher.
You hear it or you know it or they tell you. What is it?
Like I've been told I'm a good teacher. So
Okay, so but wait, if you're a great teacher, why are you not considering education in actuarial field? I hear it too that they say, oh, you'll be a good teacher if you teach Ruby. So maybe go and take PhD. I don't know if I currently have grace for PhD. I don't know yet. The day I find that grace, trust me,
mm,
I'm going for, PED,
mm,
education, PhD, education. I'm passionate about that. But
mm,
till now, I feel like I still want to be behind the computers.
mm. Yeah, so wait, like what's the question? Sorry.
What do you say?
Like the like so like you want the question like what was it?
Yeah, like where you would have, what would you have done if it did not work on the third attempt? That means you have to go for the fourth one. Would you have tried something else? Maybe you would become the next, doctor, the next um Facebook something. You just invent something before you realize you've launched your rockets in the air there. And
Yeah,
the headlines we read,
yeah.
failed in actuarial science, but did not fail in astronomy.
I mean, like I would have possibly done like like a PhD or master's like a master's in math and like a PhD. Like I kind of want to like get it. And the reason why I would do like a master's in actuarial science would be that like normally like to be like a professor like in actuarial science like you need like exam passes and all of that. But then because like I didn't pass the exam, like I wouldn't focus like on being like that in like the actuarial science sector. And because like I know that I'm going to use my school for example. Please, the school, please don't hold me accountable. So I know that like in for like in order to get like SOA like accreditation like in your university, like you need to like there has to be like at least like an I don't know if it's ASO or FSA in your school.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah. So I know that. So if I had, let's say, gone ahead to do a master's in actuarial science and a PhD in actuarial, I'm going to be a professor. And because like I don't have the FSA or ASA, I wouldn't be able to like, get accreditation for like the school, which will like I mean like I also be able to teach actuarial science, but like the students still need the accreditation in order to like get like their VE credits and possibly like the Center of Actuarial Excellence.
Mm.
So that's why I would
Okay.
have done it too much.
Yeah, I think one thing I wanted to highlight also is the fact that sometimes like we feel we feel like challenges is a redirection. And of course, sometimes that's what it is. There are times that you are pushing so hard, like for a certain door. Maybe you are trying to apply to even me when I was for me from high school, everybody told me that I'll be a medical doctor. Maybe that's why I like white shirts. But my favorite, I mean, house outfit is any white shirt, right? But like of course I tried. I tried getting to medical school for the first time. Like then I tried a second time too.
Mhm.
Then that's when I got to hear that oh, there's something called actuarial science. And
Mhm.
I had to read more about it and get into it. So I think there was a time also that interviewed um the co-founder for Coaching Actuaries, which is Pastor Brian. And he also mentioned that what led to him drifting to a different path, even though like he and Coach David Kester, hand in hand joined in forming Salt Solutions then, which is now Coaching Actuaries. During his FSA exams, there was a time that he was just failing. And he came
Wow.
to the point that no, this is the time for him to go into full-time ministry. And that was the end where he said his own goodbye to all actuarial formulas and everything, right? So
Yeah.
I believe strongly that there are times where the blockade or the challenges is telling you something that this is not the right path for you. You
Mhm.
have to be somewhere else. And that's where idols have to come. I mean, should be out of your heart because when you're so much in love with something until it stops you, there's no way you'd have found it. Like, just think about it. If I had not been stopped, let's say maybe by nature, into getting to medical school, I might probably be a very successful doctor by now. Maybe I might not be happy, maybe because that's not where I'm supposed to be planted, right? But it would have gone smoothly. But that led me to the actuarial science field. Who knows where I'm going next? You
Mhm.
understand? But there are times too that challenges happen, and it doesn't mean you're supposed to be on a different path.
Mhm.
And I feel like most of the times we are quick, sometimes, like we are quick to conclude that, oh, once this is happening, then it means that you don't belong there. But it depends. I think it's from person to person how much you are able to touch into the non-physical and to know the higher knowledge, of course, to be able to understand if this this challenge means a redirection or this challenge means persisting. So that's something that as humans we ought to master. I don't know how everybody else is going to master that skill, but I think it's a skill for you to know thyself, for you to know the path where you are going and how to get there. So if you're failing your exams, if you are facing certain challenges, if you're coming across certain blockades, you have to ask yourself, is this a red light or is this a yellow light? Is it red for you to stop and assess? Or is it still a green for you to still move on? And it's something we all have to apply to every part of our lives. So in order for us to close out on today's session, what would be like your last takeaway for people listening to you facing different forms of challenges, be it career, be it life? What's your take on challenge facing?
Yeah. So for someone or someone like facing like this, like the same scenario whereby like they write exam, they fail, they write exam, they fail. Like trust me, it's not over. Just keep on going. Like it's going like you eventually get it. Like and perseverance is key in this actuarial field because you would and but like you might feel like this career isn't for you even though it may be true it's not the career thing for you, that you may have to switch or whatever. But then I believe that with perseverance and with the right like support system, you will be able to do it. Because like trust me, I would have given up a long time. But then my support system was great. Like my parents have motivated me, my friends, Like by my friends who had passed like this exam, they were motivating me, checking up on me. Like that alone, like made me like continue like pushing harder. And then by God's grace, I was able to pass exam P. So I would say no matter what you're going through, like just keep on persevering. And trust me, there's light at the end of the tunnel. You come out victorious one day. Thank
Hmm.
you.
You're welcome. Everybody clap for Oheneba. I mean, I totally agree with you when it comes to support.
Yeah.
Because if it's not there, I think that for some reason your mental health could be destabilized. Like in the process, I think my friend was telling me that they had to mentor a group of high school students. I mean, trying to take their theory exams. And I'm like, if it was up to me, if I was SOA president, take high school students out of actuary exams. I don't doubt their ability to pass, but I doubt their tenacity to handle failing.
Yeah, yeah,
It can get you thinking. In the high school, failing an actual exam in high school is definitely not a reason why you should quit.
yeah,
Who knows?
true.
Maybe by undergrad they'll be much prepared, but how to be able to handle the mental stress and
Yeah,
all that. I feel like they should enjoy being high school students. But who knows? There might be better wisdom out there. But in my own opinion, I agree that having a supportive community, not even with respect to exam, I mean, it could be your, I mean, personal life. I think even spiritually, physically, financially, and all others, there's a need for support. One man alone, man was not made to live on an island, and that's why we have fewer islands than lands that really, I mean, it's occupied by men, because man was meant to be paired up. Maybe that's why our Zoom is paired. Who knows? That was just a joke. But yes, so take, I mean, great advantage of your community. You can taking actual exams. Definitely you have a great community, IB, you could have friends. But it also does not mean that tell the whole world that this week I'm going to write an actual exams. Because
true.
if you don't know and it doesn't go well, you
And
stop.
once I thought about that, so and before, like I didn't want to tell like my school, my professors and classmates I was going to write an actual exam. But then I think the Thursday before the Tuesday after the exam, we had to do like some sort of like presentation or like the following Tuesday. So the person like I wanted to know like who would be in class that day. And I was like, can we move it to Thursday? And he was like, why won't I come? Because I'm like, so at that point I had to say I'm going to actual exam because like because I failed it twice, I didn't want to tell anybody I was going to write it again. You know, to come back and come and say I failed it again. So I would say like, yeah, like what we'll be saying is true. Like, go do your own thing. If you pass, come and announce it. Like, come and give glory to
Yes,
you.
of course.
You want to come and re-strategize and then go again. You make it.
Yeah. At
Mm,
least, I mean, for the ones that you are attempting, you can make maybe one or two people know or your study mates. That's fine. But to
mm,
let it be public, I don't really advise because it's going to have a tone on your mental health. One,
mm,
because everybody knows and they're expecting success. Human beings hardly expect failures from humans, even though they know humans are humans. So
mm,
once it doesn't go well, you would not be so merciful to yourself or gracious to yourself to feel like, oh, it's okay for you to have failed.
mm,
But then your mind might not be able to handle how people might perceive you, which I'm not telling you is the right thing to do, but for your own sanity, it's okay if you failed and nobody knows.
mm,
And you come back again and pass than letting the whole world know. So it was great having you, Oheneba, and everyone, I mean, who took the time to watch it. And we'll be back, I mean, on the screens next time. But before that, this is the time to hit the like button on the video now and hit that red button. Also subscribe. And don't run away. We are waiting for you. We're actually not ending this until you subscribe. So please subscribe now. From Oheneba and Ruby, it's time to subscribe. And thank you so much for taking the time. Until then, it's RJ Speaks. Bye, everybody.